Welcome back to another episode of Dito and the Jets. And we're celebrating our first win of the season, which is a preseason win, week 1 preseason win. And we're going to jump into it, man. The Jets came out hot. Sauce was everywhere on the first drive, and he set the tone, had a few tackles, swatted the ball out. He set the offense up for success. Justin Fields got us on the board with a nasty 13-yard run, sort of doing his thing, letting everybody know if I can't find it with my arm, I will get it done with my legs, and I love that. Braylon Allen, he's a bulldozer. He looks like a car going through people in a video game. The man is crazy. I love how ruthless he is running, takes a bunch of defenders to get him down. I love it. The defense was flying around. Tufele had a bunch of sacks for the day, recovered a ball in the end zone from a hit by Leonard Taylor on Malik Willis. That was beautiful. Seeing a big 300-plus pound man get a touchdown is a sight to see. Yeah, we had some dumb penalties, but we still punched Green Bay in the mouth. I loved it. And we're going to clean that shit up, and you can tell with Coach Glenn it's going to happen. Special teams came up big, and by halftime it was 17-3, and we asserted our dominance on them, man. It was beautiful. The Jets ultimately end up winning 30-10, and that's how this game ended. And we're going to jump into it right now, so let's get it going. All right, so we're going to jump right into the first half breakdown here. I took a lot of detailed notes, especially when our starters were in, so I wanted to see, how everything would end up by the end of the game. So our first defensive drive starts with an encroachment, sort of shitty to see, but then we'll get into the penalties here later. But the drive starts with an encroachment. Sort of roll my eyes, sitting here going, well, if this is the game to do it, let's get it out of our system now, right? But it starts with encroachment, and then it just turns into Sauce's drive. Sauce Gardner starts kicking ass on the first drive. A physical hit to jar the ball loose, a tackle on the second play, and then he swats a pass down to force a fourth down. And that was sort of fucking gangster because Sauce just goes in there and he, as you could see, he wants to put the cheese head back on his head, and the man lets everybody know that the superstar's in the building and he's here to play. And that was dope, man. It was really dope to see Sauce getting his money like we talked about earlier, and it's cool. He's ready to go. He came out quickly and showed his physicality, and that's what I really liked. Some things to let you know that possibly a captain's coming, right? That'd be cool. But he sets the tone, man. That's gangster as hell. All right. So the first offensive drive opens up real pretty. Takes a minute for Brees. Brees gets the ball, I think, 2 times in a row. And Brees essentially looks like he gets caught behind the line of scrimmage a little bit, and that's cool. Listen, we know what Brees can do. He'll be fine. I'm not worried about Brees. But we got a sneaky number 2 running back behind us, man. Braylon Allen's going to be the real deal, but we're going to get to him in a second. Just to break down this first offensive drive, though. So Brees opens up with 2 short runs, and then Fields hits his first completion for a first down. Looks nice and calm, doesn't look too freaked out there. I didn't want him to be freaked out this game. I didn't need that. We also didn't need him to be Superman. He gave us a little bit of a highlight of that, obviously, and we're going to get to that right now. But his next throw, he misses Garrett, and sort of want to see that happen more. And we're going to get our dose of Garrett and Justin here later in the season. I'm not too worried about that. I just wanted to see it because I'm selfish. I want to see Garrett get the ball and make people miss and move. The guy could scramble quick, right? But yeah, he misses with Garrett, and then he connects with Beck for another first down. And then Braylon Allen gets the ball, man, and just the way this dude, the acceleration of a big man like him, it's insane, man. And I think it looks great. And there's like a bit of similarity when he gets the ball and he's busting through the offensive line like he does, and he looks like Derrick Henry a little bit. I'm not saying he's Derrick Henry, he's the king, right? But he looks like fucking Derrick Henry, bro. And I'm gonna show this right now, but the way he hits the defender, and it takes 3 defenders to get him down, but the way he just cripples the defender is just, it's insane. All right, let's get into this. Now, Braylon Allen's going to get the ball. Beautiful block by Allen Lazard, man. Look at this hit. Crack. Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. Look how fast he goes up that hole, man. This is a great block by Lazard. Thank Christ. But look at the offensive line. Look at that freaking wall. Look at that wall. Look at the wall. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that wall. Look at the wall, man. That's what you want. That is so beautiful. Omar Membu had a great game last night. I think he had 10 pressures. Excuse me. He had 10 pass plays and 0 pressures on the quarterback. Gorgeous. Beautiful out of the rookie. Look at this. Look how he hits the hole. And look at this crippling hit. Look at that. So after the Braylon Allen beautiful breakdown I just did, you're welcome. So Fields finds Beck again, and they're in the red zone. And I think this is Mooj's first signing as GM, but the Jets could totally utilize a legit fullback slash tight end combo because the guy's big. I mean, he could do things tight ends do, block and catch passes. So it'd be cool to have another big man out there that's elusive, right? But yeah, he finds him again. They're in the red zone. Brees goes for another 3-yard run, and then we get our first Justin Fields sighting of a touchdown, a 13-yard touchdown, and it's gorgeous. And I want like 10 to 12 of these in the regular season because I think that would be awesome. And we're going to see it. We're going to see it. And I think this was a great example, and I'm going to show it right now of what Fields can do in the pocket. And then please keep in mind the gorgeous, gorgeous Isaiah Davis fraud run play that he does for a like he's about to catch it in the corner of the end zone, and he really sells it. And I don't know, maybe Justin Fields doesn't get into the end zone with this, but it's a gorgeous like just fake catch attempt, and it's fucking awesome. Check it out. All right, check this out. So Justin looks, doesn't see one, doesn't see two, and he takes off. Takes off. Check this out. Check this out. That shit is awesome. That is amazing, man. Justin Fields got his first touchdown as a New York Jet. I'm excited, screaming at the TV. Check this out, man. He really sells this beautifully. He really does. He doesn't try to force it, though, but he says, I can't find it right now. I don't feel good. I'm going to run into the end zone. It's easy touchdown, baby. That's what I want. Damn, Justin Fields, I ain't gonna lie, man. I like the Justin Fields 7. Yeah, call me biased because I'm a Jets fan, but Justin Fields looks good with white and green on. Yeah, I'm all about it, baby. I'm excited. But yeah, we're gonna go into our second defensive drive here, and we're gonna keep breaking it down. I'm gonna put some of the sexy highlights on. I'm not gonna put all the highlights on, but I'm gonna break down as we go here what I see and things I'm looking forward to. But the second defensive drive starts with Michael Clemens just losing his shit, and I feel like we've been seeing this a bit every year. It's a bit annoying because the penalty's called originally on the offense, and that's 15 yards there, and then he's just like, "Well, fuck it," he sort of loses his mind. I don't know, man. When it becomes a trend like that, like it's exciting. Like last year and the year before, it was exciting, right? But like now it's a trend, and Michael Clemens just freaks out and he gets pulled from the game, and you see that throughout the day and throughout the game. They pull their people that are committing these penalties, and I'm all about it. You also see Coach Glenn sort of lose his mind on one of the players that makes a penalty. So it's definitely not the country club that it was last year. But yeah, so Clemens loses his control. He's pulled from the game. There's a drop on second down with the flag on Willie Mack. So Will McDonald gets flagged. And then, oh, yeah, man, I'm glad I see this in my notes here. Andre Cisco delivers a pretty nice hit. I believe it was on their tight end. And Andre Cisco's thick, man. That he's muscled the fuck out. And I think we're going to see some wild hits this year out in the backfield. But Andre Cisco makes a big hit, and then he stands over him like, yeah, I did that shit. So that is pretty dope. And then we see a Sauce pass interference. Watching it fast, I biased again, but I was like, that's a bullshit call. It was a good call. Sauce was a bit early, gets hit for the flag. Knock the shit out this game, though. You know what I mean? Next week, we don't want to see it. I don't want to see it next week. Very small errors next week. I got some penalty details here in a little bit, but yeah. And then Willie Mack makes a tackle after that, and Jay Tufele sacks on 3rd and 4, man, and he gets his first sack of the night, and he also has a monster night. Super excited about that. But second offensive drive, they take Fields and the ones out. You got Brady Cook replacing Fields. You got Lazard still in there. Fucking Braylon Allen still running out there with fury. I love it, man. And then the offensive line is just opening lanes, and I love it. I love it, man. The Jets offense was rolling last night. Um, Tyler Johnson hauled in a 21-yard catch. It was a different Jets team. The Jets were they were very they were prepared. They were prepared, and they came in. The announcers were saying it too, man. The Jets punched them in the mouth last night, and it was actually enjoyable. But I mean, listen, I feel for him, but you know what? I don't care about any other team but my team, right? But seeing sort of Matt LaFleur uh, getting interviewed after halftime on the field was I giggled a little bit because he got into his players, you can tell. But yeah, and that ends the first quarter, and it was a fun first quarter. So defense gets back on the field, and this drive sort of kills me. Especially since it was reoccurring. But Watts and McCurry commit back-to-back late hits on the sideline. Free 30 yards, man. And you could even see Quincy Williams because he's not in the game at this point. They take the starters out on the defense, and you could even see I was laughing pretty hard because after the first or the second one of the penalties, Quincy just rolls his eyes and turns around and walks the other way. Um, which is cool though, because like he recognizes it, right? So that's hoping that these guys are locked in watching on the sidelines of the game, which is dope. So I'm hoping that these guys are out there taking it seriously, and they're sitting on the sidelines like, yeah, I can't commit that. I'm the starter. That's why I am the starter. Um, but that sucked. And then right after that, Tony Adams gets injured. I think it was a thigh. He might have taken a hard hit, but I think coach said he's gonna be good. Um, it's a long ass drive, but the Jets still force a fourth down. And I love it. Um, I think it's gorgeous though, man. And then I think the next offensive drive after that, the Jets go 3 and out, which is okay. And then they punt, and Stiggers makes a beautiful special teams clutch tackle inside the 5 yard line. And then we get a defensive touchdown, baby. Leonard Taylor hits Willis, and the ball gets loose, and our mid Jay Tufele scoops and scores the ball, man. And just donuts and whatever the big men want, dude. When the big men want to eat, they get to eat, and this shit hypes me up. Check this out. The big man eats. This is it. Here we go. Malik Willis is gonna drop back, and Leonard Taylor just he hits it right here. Boop! And the big man gets a fucking touchdown, man. I love this. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, look at that big man. This is amazing. Bunch of pressure. Leonard Taylor strips the ball. Excuse me. Touchdown. The Jets get their first defensive touchdown of the season. Preseason touchdown. So after the touchdown, defense gets back on the field, and I believe it was 5 penalties now against the Jets. More cleaning up to do, but we're gonna get there, like we talked about. But Jay Tufele sacks again, man. He gets another sack. He forces Green Bay into a 4th and 21, and it's gorgeous. Then we get another special teams recovery on the Green Bay 9, and I believe it was Stiggers again, but the special teams came out, man. The special teams really had impact. That's stuff you want to see right across all sides of the ball, all phases, which is dope. Um, but yeah, after that, the Jets force into halftime. They steadily go out, and that's when I was talking about Coach LaFleur coming out and just sort of being bummed the hell out. So it was pretty cool. But to just get into some stats here really quick, man. Jay Tufele, he balled out last night in the game against the Packers. He had 1.5 sacks, 2 QB hits, 1 tackle for loss, and the big man got his fumble recovery for a touchdown. So um, it's just it's just awesome, man. This is like shit you really wanted to see because I had some questions about defensive tackle number 2 and the depth, and there he is, man. The man comes from Cincinnati, so um, get the big man some love and get him in the game. So that's what's happening there at halftime. But on the disappointing side of the ball, and I believe Coach Glenn out of everybody's going to fix this up, but the Jets were flagged 12 times last night, and with 8 penalties accepted or not offsetting, totaling 91 lost yards, it's a pain in the ass. And two of those being those repeating plays, the 15-yard penalties for 30 yards. Like that's not okay. But you got the three personal fouls, including the Michael Clemens unnecessary roughness, getting into the scuffle with Zach Tom, the offensive lineman for Green Bay. Glenn pulled him immediately. You had the two Eric Watts and the McCrary ball back-to-back late hits on the sideline. The pass interference with Sauce Gardner. We had a few defensive flags on Willie Mack. Sort of sucks. And then the big, huge offensive line penalty that wiped out a 73-yard touchdown by Donovan Edwards, man. That was so nice. And you got to see a burst of speed from him because he's a big, thicker dude, too. So um, that sucked, man. Seeing that happen was a real pain in the ass and sort of made me a bit sad, but uh, it's okay. But we're going to clean it up. But that was the unfortunate penalties of the night that just sort of it's shit we want to see, I guess, this game, right? And not the next games, especially when the season starts. So, from being the number one penalized team last year in the NFL, I want no part of that again. So, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna be all right. And then for the rest of the game, we got to see Adrian Martinez come out. He was with the Jets last year. Um, didn't do much. I think he was on the practice squad for the remainder of the year. But Adrian Martinez, man, I don't see why the Jets don't have their 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks as follows with Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, and Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez can throw, man. He can run. He commands the offense well. He was very successful up there in the UFL. So, I mean, yesterday he went 11 for 16, he had 152 yards. He had a touchdown, no interceptions, no sacks taken. His longest pass was 24 yards. His passer rating unofficially was 108.3. He had 2 carries for 14 yards and also a touchdown. His longest run was 13 yards. He looked sharp, efficient. He's good in the end zone, which is dope. And he's exciting. He's an exciting player, and I like it. Yeah, we had Stone Smart get his touchdown with Adrian Martinez. Sucks with Donovan Edwards, man. He would have had his touchdown with him too, but nah, man. Adrian Martinez looks good. I like him a ton. Now, rolling with some Jets defensive standouts, I'll go over some of these stats. Jay Tufele had 4 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 TFLs, 2 QB hits, and he had his forced fumble, or excuse me, his touchdown from a forced fumble from Leonard Taylor. Leonard Taylor with 3 tackles, 1 TFL, a QB hit, and that forced fumble. Andre Sisco had 5 tackles out there. Willie Mack had 6 tackles and 1 TFL. Sauce Gardner with his 3 tackles and his solid defensive drive. Eric Watts had 2 tackles, and Stiggers, man. Stiggers had a big game with 2 tackles, but his special teams was off the chain, man, and I'm very excited. Stiggers was last year's pickup, man, and I want to see our draft picks, especially our later rounds, turn into something. So yeah, no, the defense pumped out last night, and I'm pretty pumped about it. All right, now we're gonna go into our offensive standouts for the night. We'll go over the quarterbacks real fast. We'll go into the offensive line and then into the skill players. Justin Fields went 3 for 4, 42 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Adrian Martinez went 11 for 16, 152 yards. Passing, and then 14 yards rushing, a rushing touchdown. Fields led a crisp opening drive, that 13-yard TD scramble, and then Martinez showed poise every time he's in the red zone, man, and he makes it happen on the air and the ground, and I love it. The offensive line, another thing that I was dying to see last night, but the offensive line dominated the line of scrimmage. You know, that's so important. If this offense is going to roll, the offensive line needs to be legit. And last night they did well. Armand Membu, as I mentioned in the video, our rookie right tackle, he allowed 0 pressures under 10 pass blocking reps, and it was great. And then our standout that was missing, our left guard John Simpson, was out with a back injury, but yeah, the unit looks sharp still. Loved it. It was really good showing for the Jets last night. And then with the skill players, Andrew Beck, the fullback, man, 2 receptions, 36 yards, 26 yards after carry. He looked good. It was a good signing by Mooj. I like it. And then yeah, he's a surprise weapon though, and I think they could do well. I'm very happy. And then Stone Smart caught that touchdown from Adrian Martinez, and he made that happen. He worked his way into the end zone, and it's cool to see that too. So, didn't see a lot of Jeremy Ruckert last night. That was sort of a pain in the ass. Thought we'd maybe see him more. Maybe the offense really is designed to roll as Mason Taylor, the rookie, being that starting element out there. So maybe they don't see him as the guy, right? Because I swear I would have thought we would have seen a bit more of that last night, especially with the wide receiver weapons being so dull. I'd have thought we would have seen that more. But then, I talked about how Andrew Beck could be more of a tight end, and they utilized him last night. He's a big boy. So maybe we're going to see a lot of that, some fullback action going on. But yeah, that's exciting. I definitely do want to see the Jets, man, make a move. I think for a second wide receiver. Malachi Corley didn't have a great game. Uh, Arian Smith had a few catches, but nothing flashy, nothing stood out. I didn't see anything sexy. So hopefully this week against the Giants, we could have more transparency with that and see what's going on. Because again, I don't really know, nor do I like sort of what our wide receiver room looks like with putting the superstar Garrett Wilson aside, but. We'll see what's going on too. But and then on top of that, Alan Lazard gets hurt last night and walks out of the game to the locker room with a sling. So he made that solid block, but after that, obviously the first team come off the field. He stayed in the game for a bit, but if he can block, that sucks because now he could possibly be hurt for a bit. But hopefully it's just something sore and he just tweaks something. So that'd be pretty cool. Hopefully he comes back. All right. So let's recap the whole performance really quick. The overall performance, in my opinion, very nice. I liked it. I liked it a lot. They were dominant, disciplined in certain ways. I would say with play, not so like play coming down to technique and the overall fundamentals. Um, what was it? 91 yards and penalties, 12 flags. That's not good. I don't like that. We had 4 sacks, 2 forced turnovers. The Jets put down 403 total yards. It's gorgeous. 403 total yards. It's something that I would like to see a lot of, like throughout the season. We don't see that number that big a lot ever. But again, with the offensive highlights, Justin Fields, 10 plays, 79-yard touchdown drive, showcasing mobility, man. Beautiful. Adrian Martinez threw for 152 yards and a TD, also a rushing score. Efficient. Does this thing in the red zone. Again, Tyrod's hurt, so, you never know. Tyrod could get hurt again with another type of Jets-Giants interaction. He gets hurt anytime the Jets and the Giants are on the field, so you never know, man. Adrian Martinez could be your guy, and I got no problems with that. Jay Tufele, he scores that fumble recovery in the end zone. Leonard Taylor forces that fumble that scores into the touchdown with a blindside sack. The Jets hold Jordan Love to 1 of 5 passing with just 7 yards. The Packers had a fuck ton of drop passes last night, and yeah, they weren't happy over there in Green Bay. And Green Bay's only touchdown came late in the fourth quarter. It was a 39-yard run, and Green Bay's media team says that was the longest touchdown run even over the whole season of last year, which is just crazy. Not to throw jabs at them. They're a playoff team, right? They're still better than us at the end of the day, as if we were just talking right now of our overall status from last year creeping into this year. But yeah, that's crazy. But we held them. And that's all that matters. Deep into the fourth quarter, that's when their only touchdown comes. So I think Aaron Glenn's debut was great. He had them physical. There was aggression on the field. The guys were eager to hit. Even though we had those 2 back-to-back penalties, they were eager to hit. They were out there eating. They were being dogs last night, and I like that. I think there's a lot of opportunity for the defense this year, and it should be a ton of fun. The players had a bunch of energy. I think the execution was well, especially in the trenches. The offensive, defensive line did their thing, and that's what I love, man. It all starts in the trenches, not to sort of beat down on what the last regime did, but that's the truth about football is that it boils down to the fucking trenches, and they did their thing last night. Even without Mr. John Simpson on that left side, so it'll be cool to get him back. Yeah, but in summary, man, they look fast. They were physical. They were focused. Our QB showing some upside. And I think if this is the preview that we're getting from Glenn's regime, I think that we're going to be happy. And I think Coach said it best, man. I think Coach said it best, and I'll let him tell us right now what I think is what we should be fucking hoping for. So this is what Coach says, and hey, you got to start somewhere, and this is how our man says it.
All right. Preseason or not, a win is a win. And I was always taught to, if you want to be a winner, not only you have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win. And this is a great win for our guys. A lot of good things that happened in this game, but there's a lot of things that we got to clean up, a number of things. And we will clean those up. All right. So I look forward to going to next week.
So we got some work to do. I think we know what we have to do and work for. I think there's upside, though. Of course, every Jet fan is going to sit here and be super thrilled about last night. But obviously, if Coach was to have a shit game, we would have killed him, right? So, not saying we're going to the Super Bowl yet, but no, this is a huge win. This is a huge win for the team, the starters, the organization should be feeling good. I mean, he looked great last night. Coach got in some players' asses. Every time they showed him out there, man, he's talking to the players, and he just had a great presence to him. I loved it. I think our offensive coordinator, Coach Eggstrand, did a great job. Coach Wilkes on the defensive side of the ball, he did a great job. I think we have a bunch of upside, man. I think we have a ton to be excited about. Again, this might not be the year, right? But this is going to be an exciting year. I really do believe that. And I think the years to come will just be hyped the hell up. The organization is going to be ready. The fan base is going to be juiced up per usual. I don't expect us to be anything else other than juiced up. So excuse the poor audio quality on some of the clips that I put in there, but I will be working on that. Also, some good news. We got a sponsor coming. We're a few videos in, and our sponsor has liked what we have been doing. They've been following all the socials, and they believe in us. So join the ride. Make sure you click like. You subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe so you can keep up with what we're doing here in the community. Let's build the community up. Comment, man. Share this. Share this amongst your friends. Comment. Let's talk some trash. Let's argue a little as friends in the franchise here. But let's get down, man. Let's do it. We got an exciting next week coming up. We got the Giants, the G-Men. We'll be staying in New York, which is dope. I believe we stay in New York also for the Philly game against the Eagles. But next week is the joint practices. I believe it's Tuesday and Wednesday, so we'll have 2 days with them. And then Thursday we're off. Friday is our walkthrough. And then Saturday, we'll be back at MetLife. Jet Life, and we'll be playing the G-Man. But it's a big one. I do believe this is when we're going to see our team play the most. Maybe you'll see a whole half, at least 2 or 3 drives for the offense and the defense. But yeah, we're going to be having some more videos coming out fast this week. We're going to be staying on topic. We're going to be staying to a schedule, and we're going to get you some content that you guys deserve. Again, man, this is all from a fan here. I don't have anybody else to really talk about this to other than my fans and my friends that are in this Jets community with me that are searching for the big wins at the end of the day. So, again, make sure you like and subscribe, share this, and we will be talking to you guys later. So, Jets, 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 and we will see you next time. Peace.